Tonight on NevNotVada Radio, we have the absolute horror of a 9-month talking stage, the finesse and the abandon of being nonchalant, and the agony of a girl trying to navigate it all without proper advice. Are you tired of modern dating? Endlessly swiping got you in a slum? Are the algorithms making you question your self-worth? Call 555. Love Ray. Love Ray. Love Ray. Love Ray.
Amore Ray.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to NevNotVada Radio. So my tripod had broken, and I did not feel like recording until I fixed it. Now, I cannot find the adapter to my microphone, but we're gonna make do with what we've got, because when in Rome, do as Romans do. And right now, I'm feeling real Roman. These circumstances are feeling very much fall of Rome. So it has been a little bit over a year since, like, my last long-term relationship has ended. Dating has been just as horrible as I remembered it, you know, when I was 16. The only difference is now I'm 21. There's just been a lot online regarding, you know, modern dating for the current day young adult. And I fall within that demographic. It's definitely been a roller coaster, a shit show. Good sometimes, less than savory some other times. And I'm just here to pick my own brain, as well as just to talk. I just want to chat. Can I pull you for a chat? Have any of you watched Love Island? Because I haven't. If I wanted to see dysfunctional people in relationships, I would literally open up Instagram or TikTok and just search up dating horror stories, and there I go. Like, I would have the finest selection of chaos to view and to pick apart and to psychoanalyze, because I'm such a pseudo-intellectual. There's a dating app for every niche out there, and yet there are still so many complaints on the internet. You would think that things got easy, because dating apps are a convenience, and it also does something to your brain. Sometimes there can feel like there won't be any consequences for our words or how we introduce ourselves to this person. We don't know this person in real life. We haven't seen this person walking down the street. So yeah, I actually am going to slide into your DMs with the most obscene, explicit, and dehumanizing opener. I just don't feel like it should be socially acceptable for your opening move to be to tell me that you want to siphon out my insides like a jelly donut.
Oh, that's no.
In the sense that,
No.
you know what I mean?
You drive a hard bargain, and you have no home training. Oh wait, you have home training, but we're not at home, you know? You're not out in the world. You're just patrolling the internet. And you know, a thing that I, would think is like, maybe it was the outfit I was wearing in the picture they saw. And it'll be like a picture with like a turtleneck on it. And someone would still be like, yeah, that, that turtleneck just makes me want to erupt like Mount Vesuvius. And I'm like, the clothes were never the issue. The clothes will never be the issue. Fucking weirdos are going to be weirdos regardless. This is literally like the first day of getting to know somebody. But when you're anxious, as much as we live on our phones, we don't live within text conversation unless we choose to. But not everyone chooses to live within a text conversation waiting on every response, and that's perfectly fine. When someone's like, oh my God, text me back faster, or oh my God, delivered for 10 minutes is crazy, I'm literally sitting here, I'm like, what psychologically happened to you? Like, you can't go 5 minutes without getting a response. Damn, left on delivered is crazy. Go to hell. And by the way, you do know that you should not be taking dating advice from like content creators and stuff, because their whole gimmick is that they're supposed to captivate you. They're supposed to prey on the most vulnerable parts of your dating experience in order to give you advice, because then that creates kind of a mentor-mentee bond, a parasocial mentor-mentee bond. The internet can give you some pretty solid advice. I think I start to draw the line at online dating advice because, for one, I don't know the person giving the advice. I don't know their reality. And though some specific part of their reality when it comes to their dating experience and my dating experience might align or be similar, there are many factors that play into everything. If I'm upset that I went on a date and I feel horrible and blah, 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 and if I theoretically did not have a support system and I immediately went onto TikTok to go feel better, and then I see something on TikTok that's like, did your date just go horribly wrong? Were you just too much of a soft girl and, you know, things didn't go your way? Enter your dark feminine. Enter your dark feminine.
Sacrifice your firstborn, slice the palm of your hand, drip your blood onto a lemon, eat said lemon, down a shot of vodka, and then invoke the spirit of Satan himself and embrace your dark feminine. Never be a decent human being again towards whoever you date.
So you should journal instead. You should probably journal about how that made you feel rather than taking advice from the internet. Because now we have a bunch of like teenage girls who are like, yeah, I'm so dark swan. I'm so black swan. I'm so black swan coded. Brad from 6th period has asked me on a date and I told him no. Like I literally just wore like black eyeliner on my under eyes. I'm literally in my black swan era. Yes, sis, block that nigga. She said nigga because she's white and nobody was around. Oh my God, hey bitch. Yes, oh my God, I literally just danced the black swan. Yeah. How'd I do it? Brad was like, do you want to go on a date? And I was like, no, Brad, I actually don't want to go on a date because you didn't respond to my message for like 5 days and I just had to set up, you know, some black swan energy between him and I. So just to let him know that it's not going to be easy. That was literally just making a decision based on how you feel about someone's actions. You literally just set a boundary. It wasn't nuclear science. But, you know, whatever gets the youth setting boundaries and respecting their peace and their hearts.
Oh my God, girl, please tell me you watched Seductive Femme 555's new TikTok video. Like, she really dropped so much good knowledge, like free ball knowledge is crazy. Oh my God, she literally was like, if a guy wants to take you out, say yes, and then like literally block him. Like, oh my God, it's so funny. Like, Seductive Femme 555 was literally like, yeah, and if a guy really likes you and he's shown every good sign and like green flag and stuff, like, to literally just like block him and like break his heart and make him not believe in love anymore. And that's like just so funny because like it's happened to me before. I feel like I'm so powerful if I start doing it back instead of healing and addressing the fact that it made me feel that way. Yes, doing unto others what I would not want done to me. It's so fine. It's so fine. And like so fine being a black swan. Like you really get to be your black swan. Like you're such a white swan. Go be a black swan. Literally, like, girl. The insane ball knowledge, like, come on, yes. And I literally just paid for her $50 course on how to gaslight and manipulate men. So instead of helping the problem by not contributing, I'm going to make it worse. Yes, it is so fine, so fine, so fine, so fine. She's literally like mother. She's like the big sister that I like literally don't have because my parents like hate each other, and after their divorce, they just didn't have kids anymore. My mom was like, oh my God, I'm so over men. And I was like, that's fucking right, bitch.
Influencers are taking the place of our elders who were married for like 50 years, and let's just exclude the subsection of our elders who, you know, committed DV, no D, no DVD, just DVD on their partners, or like, I don't know, just cheated on their partners or whatever. The actual elderly married couples that actually were good to each other and healthy examples, we're not getting advice from those people anymore, no. We've got Seductive Angel 555 giving you a masterclass in manipulating men, and then we've got Jim Dude Bro 576 giving young men super high expectations at the age of 15. You're 15 years old and you want your girlfriend to cook for you. You don't even get all A's in school. Why should your girlfriend cook for you? You're not even providing an A+ and you want a full cooked meal. You want a full cooked meal and you can't even provide an A+ for that woman. So I'm not just gonna be critiquing men. No, I primarily date men. I've never really done the whole lesbian thing, but I'm gonna critique everyone. I'm critiquing everyone. And for the equally misguided 16-year-old girls who are like, yeah, And he better provide for me. He is 16. The only thing that he can provide for you is a fucking chapstick. And if you are a 15-year-old talking about how your boyfriend better provide for you and get your nails did for you and, you know, pay for your Lululemon, because I think that's what the kids like these days. One, your expectations are really your expectations. They're your expectations. But let's think realistically here. You are 16. Average teenager in America is probably, if they are working, is probably only bringing home what? Let's say 200 to, I don't know, because I'm making up fake numbers, but I would assume that a 16-year-old isn't making like $50,000 a year. And if they were, then we need to really look into who they're working for, because child labor laws, and also if they still are working the legally allowed hours, then now I'm questioning how much they're getting paid an hour. Teenagers are not going to their parents for age-appropriate relationship advice or dating advice. They are taking advice from people who are anywhere from 20 to 27 years old. And children are impressionable. Teenagers are impressionable. So I would imagine that they're not really using much discernment. Just like,
Yeah, girl, Seductive Temptress 555 told me that in order for a man to really show that he wants a woman, he must pay for her mortgage and her Lululemon and her nails and her hair and her eyelashes and her bags and her Chick-fil-A and her Labubu and her matcha. Only then does he deserve even a response from a woman.
influencers are becoming parasocial, cool older siblings. Advice is not a guide. Advice is not a playbook. It is probably at most a prompt for self-reflection and to just think deeper. Do I, in my heart of hearts, really believe what this person is saying? Do I think that this person who is unmarried, and if they are married, possibly unhappily married, is giving me the best advice? When I see these dating coaches giving out really horrible, maladaptive, and harmful dating advice, I really question, like, do we not live in a world of nuance? Do we not live in a world of nuance? Do we not live in a world of duality? If someone has manipulated you and just done horrible things to you, do you think that you should go out into the world and then do the same thing that person did to you, to the demographic that they belong to? An eye for an eye makes the world blind. Now strangers are suffering the consequences through you. You are a vessel. That agent of chaos, you pass their chaotic nature onto you, and you're just spreading it out. And I feel like this ties into something else. We all want to be cool. We all want to be nonchalant. We all want to see who can win the I don't give a fuck war. I hope you know that 3 developing countries were ruined within I don't give a fuck wars. So, sorry, I hate to say it, but I don't give a fuck wars are really bad. Girls like you when you're nonchalant. Guys like you more when you don't care about them. And while that may be true for some like sick, twisted childhood trauma reason, most likely, why are you changing who you are to be liked by somebody else? I'm too cool to care. I don't care what you ate today. I don't even care how your day was. I just don't care. Because guys like girls who don't care. Because girls like guys who don't care. I can't believe that backfired in my face. Oh my God. Believe it. Believe it when it backfires in your face. I don't know who has to say this for it to click in the heads of those who believe that it is a lot cooler to be nonchalant and it is a lot more attractive and that you will have much more success dating being nonchalant as far as your interactions go with other people. I read nonchalance and feigning disinterest as disinterest. If you feign disinterest, I'm gonna take it as a literal social cue that you're not interested. And I think that most people would also take it as a genuine social cue that you're not interested. Don't go auditioning for roles that you don't even want to get picked for. Because if you're sitting here acting like you're disinterested and somebody is like, okay, this person's disinterested, I'm gonna stop talking to you. And you're like, what? But I thought this was a foolproof method. Alpha dude Jim Bro said that this was the way to go. Why is it backfiring in my face? Because these people don't have your best interest in mind. Duh. Strangers on the internet do not have your best interest in mind when they're giving you dating advice most of the time. They're just gonna gaslight you into thinking that there's something wrong with the person if they decide to stop talking to you because you've feigned disinterest.
And if they take it as a sign that you don't care and they stop talking to you, that's because they weren't really into you in the first place. Yeah, it's totally not because, you know, you're kind of disrespecting them by saying that you're interested and then all of a sudden pulling away in this whole push-pull method thing. Yeah, no. You're not the problem. Everyone else is the problem.
I just feel like it's a rebranding of avoidant attachment styles. I mean, that's literally what it kind of sounds like. There's a difference between somebody who genuinely does not care, yet can still express their interest in a way that isn't happy-go-lucky, overfilling past the brim. And then there's the person who pretends to not care, but they're like really like dying inside when you don't text back. Why are you trying to force yourself into an avoidant attachment style? I don't think that's something that anyone should ever strive for. Like, I feel like even avoidants get frustrated when they feel like avoidant. A self-aware avoidant who wants to change is going to be frustrated when they start being avoidant and they catch it. But nonchalance is cool. Nonchalance is cool.
Being nonchalant? So cool. I just love being nonchalant. No, you didn't. That never happened because I'm nonchalant and cool. So, like, no, I would never cry over something bad that happened to me because nothing bad ever happens to me because I don't care.
Right. Sure, honey. Sure. Black women these days are so masculine. Black women are masculine now. Black women are so masculine. I have a question to pose. How are you approaching these black women? Are you texting them like you have interest in them as, you know, a potential soft little lady? Or are you hitting them up like your homeboys?
What's up with you?
Don't be surprised if you text a woman as if she's your homeboy and she gives you a response as if she's your homeboy. She's probably just code switching. I'm not gonna lie. She's probably just code switching. She's most likely just code switching. And also about the whole black women are masculine thing, describe masculine. Describe masculine. Without talking about physical appearance, because that's late, because you are saying that they're acting masculine. So what are the actions that are masculine? What are these masculine actions that black women are putting on, are doing, are performing? Self-sufficiency. I don't think that self-sufficiency is an inherently masculine thing. I think that's an inherently human thing. Not believing the words that you say and actually asking you to provide an action to back up the words that you say. That's not masculine. That's holding you accountable for your claims. But they're just so argumentative. But that same argumentative nature is seen as, like, I don't know, desirable when it comes to Hispanic and Latin women, right? Feisty Latina. Anger is acceptable when it's done in an exotic lens. But when it sounds too much like your mother, you start to get triggered. I understand that. And then the people who make these complaints, right? And it's for the smallest things. I want you to ask yourself, how do I nurture the femininity of my potential partners? How do I make it so my partner feels safe to feel feminine? Like I said, you can't really expect femininity if you're talking to someone as if they're your homeboy. If you're texting them every 3 days as if they're your homeboy. You can't just throw the ball like you're talking to your homeboy and expect, like, just a sweetheart girly response. Can we think about the deeper issues behind why black women might be more on guard, which in turn is seen as masculine? Do we ever question why black women are on guard and what the root cause of this secure, guarded nature might be? Or do we just think bitches be tripping? It's easy to think bitches be tripping. It's a lot harder to actually try to unpack the reasons why this might be without making negative assumptions. Without it being negative assumptions and confirmation bias of these bitches is just entitled and blah, 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 blah. Like, let's be trauma informed. Let's be trauma informed. And that goes for both parties. But in this context, what I'm talking about right now, let's be trauma informed when it comes to why Black women might come off as guarded sometimes, especially in a country that hates them, within a system that doesn't really protect them, within social communities that see them as nuisances and liabilities and burdens. Let's unpack it. We can ask questions. There is no harm in a question for the sake of education and learning something new and being conscious with a genuine desire to be educated on what experiences your counterpart might go through. If you're asking that question, but you already have an answer in your head and you just want to hear the answer in your head said through someone else's mouth, you just want people to agree with you. And that's perfectly fine. But don't phrase it as a question. State your claim and then at the end of that say, how many people agree with me? Because that's what you're looking for. You're not looking for a change in perspective or a change of heart, because people will try to change your mind. When you are posing questions and not actually holding space for people to tell their experience in regards to your question. So this next thing is absolutely crazy, and it would have my head spinning. Some people are in the talking stage for 9 months. Y'all might as well have just been friends by the 5th month. Y'all should have just agreed to be friends. What was so interesting that y'all could have possibly talked about for 8 months long that was so interesting that you forgot to have conversations about progression of the bond, connection, or relationship? I would like to think that people do it to themselves sometimes, and this is of your own doing. Sometimes it's not. You know, sometimes we do lack the backbone to just be like, yeah, no, this isn't going anywhere, and I would like it to go somewhere, and it's not going in that direction. You can wait 5 years for someone to say that they also want to be in a relationship with you as well, but then you have wasted 5 years of your life. If I was talking to someone for 8 months and they still weren't decided on whether or not they wanted to pursue things with me, I shouldn't be there. In fact, I should have left by the 4th month. If I was feeling the connection and I wanted to progress it, and the other person was like, nah, I'm just not ready for a relationship, why would I stick around and wait for that person to be ready for a relationship? If you are personally fine with being in an 8-month talking stage and still getting nowhere, more power to you. That's what works for you. You looked inside your heart, you said, yeah, that's perfectly fine with me. That's okay. If you're not okay with it, and you knew you were not okay with it for a long time, but you kept gaslighting yourself, you're like, well, maybe they'll change their mind one day. There was an instance within like my dating experience in which I was young and I was like, no, but I really want this person. So they're eventually gonna come around. They just said that they're not ready for a relationship right now. So I'm just, I'm gonna be there. I'm gonna be the one who's there. I'm gonna be the one that gets picked when he finally is ready for a relationship. And we're just gonna live happily ever after. No, that's not how things work in life. That's how things can work, but also really ask yourself, wouldn't I feel bitter having had to wait so long for someone? If you know that you're not a patient person, don't wait, because someone will hold your attention for as long as they can get whatever the fuck they want out of it, whether it's a conversation, someone to talk to, pussy on layaway, who knows what the intention is behind it. If it's not working for you, then don't do it. Like, no. They have literally stated, hey, I'm not gonna give this to you. And you're just like, oh yeah, but you're gonna give it to me one day. What are you thinking? What's going on inside of your head? Another problem I have is kind of like the vagueness of certain terminologies or phrases or whatever. I have asked people what they were looking for, and I have gotten in response I'm just looking for a vibe right now. What does that mean? I don't know what that means, and that scares me, actually. I speak AAVE and I speak Ancient Ebonics. Looking for a vibe in my direct translation from Ancient Ebonics to High English is, I'm about to play in your motherfucking face. I don't do labels, but we can do everything that, you know, usually would go under a label, and I'm about to play in your face so motherfucking bad. Big time. I'm going to create an environment that is so toxic. That's literally what I hear in my head. I don't really like intentions to be vague. I'm gonna tell you what I want. Looking for a vibe is something that I would say in order to be directed to the back of Spencer's, where all the vibes of all shapes, forms, and sizes can be found. I found a few vibes at Spencer's before. I mean, obviously you're gonna suss out the vibe, right? Obviously you're going to check this person's energy. You're going to see what this person wants. Are you and this person compatible? Another thing is stating the absolute obvious, like a Hinge prompt. All I ask is that you don't lie to me. I would fucking hope so. I would hope that a person does not lie to you. I will brag about you to my friends if, and then the response is, I won't brag about you to my friends. So why would you even choose that prompt? Go to hell. What's wrong with you? America is suffering from a serious cognitive deficit. There are serious cognitive deficiencies within America. Maybe, just maybe, right? Maybe, just maybe, it is the lead and the nickel from the vapes. I'm just looking for a vibe. I'm not looking for nothing too serious. I definitely do want you to lay back on your back. For me, yeah. You don't want nothing too serious. I think that's pretty serious. For someone to say that they don't want something serious and yet be like, damn, what color bra you got on right now though? I'm like, that's a serious question. I wouldn't even tell my friends that answer if you don't get the fuck out my face. And so that wraps up today's video on NevNotVada Radio. No, it doesn't. This does not wrap up the video. So I asked for experiences and opinions on modern dating from my mutuals on Instagram. Therefore, this last section of the video goes out to all of you amazing 12 people who sent a response. I appreciate you so much. From the bottom of my heart. I would like to thank all 12 of my respondents for where I am today. I'm gonna put these responses up because I have to hold myself accountable. Okay, so this response says, being a non-binary femme, I find it really hard to find any type of connection. People call me intimidating because I know who I am. I can only assume, but it's really strange to me because I think I'm quite sweet and inviting. Do you have any suggestions for a baddie? Loves you lots. Oh my God. I'm literally the most insufferable person ever, and somebody loves me and they want my advice. I get that a lot too. So, you know, when I myself have heard that I'm like intimidating or that I look mean or unapproachable, I mean, like, I kind of do got an RBF, so I know what you mean, because if I'm not sitting here smiling, like when I'm recording, like if I were to just let my face fall and to not do the whole theatrical thing, this is me putting in effort. This is like just like my face in a neutral position. And if someone is finding you intimidating, even though you think that you're warm and inviting, I think starting conversations sweetly, right? In a very cool and sweet way, can definitely be a way for you to shake that rep off. Dating as a femme, period, is hard. I could only imagine that it would be hard for a non-binary femme as well. See, I don't got no ring on my finger, so dating is ghetto, but so are your 20s. Yeah, pretty much. In my opinion, women should plan dates more. They should. And I also feel like if you feel like a woman that you're talking to, if you would like her to plan a date, you can suggest it to her. There's nothing wrong with like wanting to see how someone else would plan a date, you know? Because Because if you're always the one planning dates, maybe you might get curious and be like, well, what would it look like if they planned a date for me and them instead of me doing all the planning? That's perfectly fine. Like, that's perfectly fine to be curious about. That's something that you can bring up to potential partners. And if they say that you are the scum of the earth and that you should never expect a woman to have to ever plan anything, then, well, that's not the woman for you. That's not the woman for you. This respondent says the propaganda that they're not falling for. 1, letting a man cheat as long as he does not embarrass them publicly. Because if someone just, is like perfectly fine with their man cheating on them as long as they don't get embarrassed, publicly is the disclaimer. I don't know how people do it. This one video I saw where someone was like, well, I would rather the same man fuck up 20 times than to have dated 20 men who have all fucked up one time. And I'm like, regardless, you still got cheated on 20 fucking times. Doesn't matter if it was with one man or 20 men. So pick your fucking poison. But I have no interest in an early grave, and I will not let stress take me to the grave early. 2, not going through my man's phone because I'm too scared of what I'll find. I feel like if you even have the inkling to go through your partner's phone, 1, there might be signs or things that would reasonably have you paranoid and make you want to go through that phone. Something that is genuinely scaring you, something that is genuinely triggering your alarm signals. 2, it could also be a false alarm. Because we believe in nuance. I can't tell you what to do. I'm not saying go through that phone, and I'm not saying don't go through that phone. If I'm doubting someone's ability to tell me the truth anyways and be upfront with me, that's a sign of concern as is. Like, if this is coming out of like someone's actions, like, oh, he's done something in the past and that's why like I feel the urge to go through that phone, I think that that's valid, and maybe you shouldn't be with him. Number 3, polyamory propaganda. It's 100% okay for me to want monogamy and doesn't make me closed-minded. If I wouldn't shame someone for being polyamorous, even though that I prefer monogamy big time. No one should ever shame you for wanting monogamy. And no one should ever shame you for wanting polyamory, right? Assuming that you've said that out the gate and you've been very clear about that. They can't shame you for what you like, what works for you, what makes your heart happy. Monogamy makes my heart happy. So do what makes your heart happy as long as you are being transparent about it, and no one should have a bone to pick with you about it. Because I know that a lot of people are like, monogamy is Eurocentric and it benefits men and blah, blah. We can acknowledge the root of something and also grow to understand that while monogamy might be Eurocentric, right? It doesn't mean that monogamy does not work for people, and it does not mean that monogamy is something that people cannot want, right? You can be woke and still like monogamy. I promise you, polyamory is not the virtue signaling that someone might think it is. It's simply just what works for you. Some people who claim that they're monogamous also like to have multiple partners, but still claim monogamy. And they should get 5 years in the dungeon. Yes. 4, Gen Z dating has turned into the nonchalant Olympics. We have to pretend that we don't care when we're ignored, not shown enough attention, pretend that we don't feel normal emotions like jealousy, hurt, betrayal, etc. All in the name of being nonchalant. Like, no, I'm not going to act like I don't care because I do care. Completely valid. Pretending that you don't care for the sake of looking cool. Newsflash. You might look cool, but deep down you still care, and deep down you're still going to be sobbing into your pillow at night because you tried to feign nonchalance. And instead of, saying how you actually felt, you acted nonchalant. You can't be mad if people assume you don't care because you didn't show anything to prove that you cared or to prove that you can be vulnerable and sensitive and compassionate. I have never won an I don't give a fuck war. I be giving a fuck. I be giving all the fucks, okay? Like, there's no more fucks left to give because I gave all the fucks. All men need to be obliterated. Who did it? Who was the man What did he do? What happened? What happened? Nevada, this is NTL. Can I eat? Stop playing on my phone. Just playing on my fucking phone. I never knew love until I learned to pick the opposite of my type. Sometimes you will find that the type of people that you're into are not the type of people who like you or find themselves attracted to you. For whatever reason that might be. Sometimes a lot of people feel like that, and that's normal. I think that can be normal. You like end up growing to love the person not because of like some predisposed attraction that you would think that you're supposed to have to this person because they're your type, but you grow to love them for the person that they are at their very core, outside of what society might think about that person. If more men admitted they were gay or poly, the successful marriage rate would quadruple. Possibly, maybe. Possibly, maybe. That might be true. That I'm not a rocket scientist. DL lesbians are the worst. They be playing all in your face, but be the same ones trying to bump purses with you when they get drunk. DL lesbians exist. No, I will not further elaborate, but just know that they do. Anyone can be DL. People cannot commit to loyalty anymore. I keep saying it to so many people, but because I'm so young, I get gaslit into thinking that it gets better as you get older. However, the kids learn from the adults and think that shit is cool. It just doesn't make sense. Sister, I feel you. It does not get better when you get older. I'm living proof. I am living proof that it does not get better when you get older. We have had many a conversation. It does not get better as you get older. It does get better, however, with discernment and practice. Better by 100%? No, not better by 100%. But it can get better. Maybe not with age, but with adjustments to other things, because time doesn't fix everything. I mean, there are middle-aged women who are complaining about men, and middle-aged men who are complaining about middle-aged women, and have never met a group of people who hate each other more than older women and older men. They fucking hate each other. If they're not already married and they're like trying to date people around their age, they are knocking heads, and not in the way they wish they were, okay? I feel like some lesbians feel like they don't have options, so that's why they always have weird relationships to their exes when they're with a new girl. Because what you mean you gotta ask her for someone to come over your place? I have never experienced that because I've never committed an act of lesbianism. So I don't really know how that is, but I could assume that that would be really difficult. Oh my God. We had so much fun today, didn't we? We talked shit. We thought critically. We put on our thinking caps. We held space without getting too violent. That's fun. That's how it always should be here. Able to hold space with each other. Able to hold space for even the most frustrating of people. And as Khadija says, you can always change your mind, because change is possible. Till next time, which can be an invariably long amount of time or an invariably short amount of time, depending on how I'm feeling and how many things come up in my personal life. To wrap up all the fun that we've had today, I'm Nev, not Vada, and this has been NevNotVada Radio. Long as my bitches love me.
I could give a fuck by no hate, as long as my bitches love me.